Hey guys, namaste. I hope all of you doing great. I would say first of all, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting me. All the emails you send, all the comments, it means a lot to me. Thank you so much. So in this video, I want to talk to you about remarriage. What are the things that you should be looking, the indications of it, right? First of all, most importantly, is that you must be confident with your time, place, and date of birth. That is the utmost importance. And if you're not confident, then the report itself will be somewhat edgy. So it's best that you have that fixed. Some may not have the right time, some place, some even the date. So get that fixed. Of course, if you're wondering how to fix, if you don't know, then there is something called birth stamp rectification, BTR as they call it. I don't do it because it's tedious, it's a lot of work, and it's frankly not easy. I've done it like once or twice before. So I don't do it, but there are many people out there, many people who are good in this BTR. So I suggest you get that done first. Now, once you have that, once you have your charts, then you basically need to look at Venus. Venus is the key because Venus is Kalatra, just like the seventh house. It's the communion of the souls, right? That is very important to be seen. Venus. Second is the Rasi where Venus is sitting, right? The lordship of that house, and also the Rasi. And I'm sorry, I already said Rasi, the Nakshatra, the seventh house and the ninth house. All right, so I'm going to say that again. You have Venus where it's positioned, okay, where it's residing, the seventh house, the ninth house, and every other things inside them. All right. I'm going to elaborate a little bit on what are the things that you should be actually looking at. First of all, Venus itself, right? Venus, if it's in a malefically influenced, or if it's not in a good position, then that's a clear indication. Now, how can you say whether it's good or bad? Now, there's something called dignities, right? Each grahas has their own dignities, and there are secondary, tertiary, and primary dignities. The primary dignities are if it's in its own house, if it's either debilitated, exalted, Mulatrikona, friendly sign, all Marana Karakastanas and all that. Now, apart from that, this is where most of the astrologers will skip. They'll just look at the first dignities and they'll skip. But then you need to go through deeper. You need to go look at the avastas, right? Avastas are very important, right? And then avastas itself have various categories, right? Whether they are in awakened state, sleeping, on a swapna, jagrat, Shushupti, what else? You have the age, you have what? Bhala, Kumara, Yuva, Mritya, these are ages, and then whether they are um, in the in the nakshatra itself, right? The nakshatra itself also have primary and secondary assessment of the strength, right? How strong is the nakshatra in the particular houses, right? So let's talk about the Venus first. So Venus, you need to look at the primary strength, including the Shatbala, the dignities, the avastas, right? All that needs to be assessed. And then you need to look at the this houses, right? You have the seventh house and the ninth house. Same thing. What are the drishtis on the seventh house? What are the malefic drishtis? What are the qualities of the nakshatra which resides in the seventh and the ninth house? Right. Again, the nakshatra also is dependent on the dignities. I mentioned the avastas they have. Their avastas are different. Sayanam, agamam, gananam, so many types. They also have different strength analysis. Now, apart from that, you also need to look at the Vimshotri. Of course, Vimshotri is one type of dasa analysis. In Vimshotri itself, the grahas will be need to assess the strength, right? And that you can't use the Shadbala or the primary or the Avastha. It has its own kind of strength. It's called the Vimsopaka Bhala. All right. So as you can see, there are so many levels of assessment of strength just for one graha, one rasi, one nakshatra. It takes a long time, considerably a long time for you to go through one by one to say that yes, Venus is not well positioned, not because if it's drishti or not because Venus is in sixth house or anything like that. right? So you need to go through very detailed strength analysis. Once you have got that, then you can say, okay, now Venus is not in a good position, right? So Venus, seventh, ninth house, right? The seventh is the house of communion, right? Not marriage. Many confused. The seventh is the marriage. The ninth is the marriage, right? The ninth is the Bhagyasthana, which is the house of marriage. The seventh is the communion of the soul. So if you have issues with Venus, the seventh and the ninth, all three together, then we can, if it's like a 65% and above, if you have problems, now 65% of the or whatever correlations that you find for these three aspects, then we can safely say that there will be a remarriage. Okay, but when it's going to happen, then we need to look at the dasa schemes and all the other stuff. So these are very basics of to find indications if there'll be a remarriage or not. I hope this helps. So you can do research from people who have remarried. You can look at their charts and see if either these things would make differences, right? So I'm going to stop here right now. Thank you so much. I hope to do more videos soon. If you like to have a personal consultation, the descriptions will give you detail, right, on how to connect with me and all that. So thank you once again, friends, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Namaste.